You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
I'm Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. She does that so well. For 15 years I did that, and I think I'm over it. I think everyone's over me doing it. I like it when the Iron Lady does it. She does it so well. And I just always have this image in my head of the Bugs Bunny opera singer doing the Iron Lady thing. Welcome to the big show, my family and friends. We certainly appreciate you guys being here, because without you guys, our life would be pretty empty and dull. Without the people listening and counting on all the wonderful people we have some amazing folks on the show today, as well as coming up this week. We're going to be starting our CES coverage of CES 2024. In fact, we'll have the CEO of CTA, who runs CES, on the show for his annual. It's become an annual tradition for him to show up. But we'll have him on the show, and we'll be talking about the big consumer electronics show. And so that's going to be huge, and it's always fun. And there's going to be lots of toys and crazy technology stuff that you can use for everything to improve your life or just waste your money on. Going on 15 years, CEOs, billionaires, White House presidential advisors, governors, Congress members, U.S. ambassadors, Pulitzer Prize winners, astronauts, you name it. We have the most brilliant people on the show that share with you their journeys of life and teach you how to improve the quality of your life, so you get that Chris Voss Show glow from every episode. Make sure you're tuning in 3 to 4 shows a weekday, 15 to 20 a week. I sound like a radio guy today, right? I'm on my thing. Maybe I should take more Christmas vacations. Today we have Heidi Beyer on the show with us. She is the CEO and founder of BU Renewed, America's purest wellness and anti-aging supplements. Clearly, I need a lot of them. Heidi is a business owner and entrepreneur who has made her life's purpose to be of service to others. Her goal is to encourage and inspire others to reach for the stars, expand their life to the fullest extent, and become the best they can be. Her latest project, BU Renewed, is touted as America's purest wellness and anti-aging supplements, handcrafted formulas to support the body, mind, and spiritual for transformation and vitality. Welcome to the show, Heidi. How are you?
Wow, thank you very much, Chris. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I am excellent. I'm on point. Although I did stumble on the CEO part. Evidently, I forgot how to say CEO on over the break, but I'll learn. Welcome to the show. Give us your .com so people can find you on the interwebages.
Thank you. So I am BU Renewed, BU, all one word, on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Insta is BU Renewed Official. And the brand website is www.burenewed.com. BU, like BU, the letter U, renewed.com.
Be yourself renewed. Because it sounds like a blessing. Be renewed. You know, when people say be blessed, be renewed.
Totally.
There you go. So give us a 30,000 overview of the company and what you do there.
So, the company has actually been kind of melding and molding, many, many years. And it's like an accumulation of all that is. So that, and specifically because over the last, I don't know, like 8 to 10 years, I've really been so focused on, using alternative methods. I'm a huge proponent of medical, huge proponent. I'm all about taking care of oneself. I'm super health oriented. I work out every day. And so all of these things that I was so interested in learning, how can I support the balance of my life? And I really have been using these particular products I've been using for quite some time. And these are meant to support what I already do in my life. So it helps, from a physical perspective, it's the well-being system, which is anti-anxiety. So we have created three particular systems within the wellness and the anti-aging formulas. One is the Age Well system. In fact, let me just do a quick, if you don't mind.
Sure.
This is a little plug. This is the Age Well system. So we have, there are two formulas. There's a morning formula, there's an evening formula, and each are designed as a comprehensive pack to really have everything, all the herbs, all the minerals, all your vitamins, all in one package, if you will. And so, they deal with fatigue and energy and cell support. I'm super into, age. How do you stay as young as you possibly can, turning back the hands of time, and really being on the cutting edge of what to do from more of a, I don't want to use the word, I hate to use the word alternative because it sounds, I don't want to sound, kind of nefarious, but, the key is these are, these things which you find in food as well, use in, the form of a vitamin or putting, the powder into a drink. And it really does give you, that sort of lift that you need or that you could use to be right in your head on a daily basis. And that's important to me, to just stay as, as really good as I can, as productive, as happy as I can on a daily basis. So
there you go. So you need to, the one thing I've learned as I've aged is I need more vitamins and I need more supplements and magnesium and, all the stuff. All the stuff is what you have to take. It's not like when you're 20 and you don't have to, the only stuff you take is alcohol and cigarettes.
That's right. Yep.
You're just going to live on that and Mountain Dew or something. Don't do that, folks. I did that. But so you have all the stuff. So how long have you been running this company? And
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's my question. I'll
no, I mean, the brand is a fairly new brand over the last 8 months. And but the formulas have been developed over the last 15 years, and we've been working on them to perfect them before we brought them out to market. And now we're here, and we're really going strong and just building and scaling and getting a tremendous amount of interest and people who are wanting to really, represent the product and really just, help with all the marketing aspects. So as a business owner, it's been just a real delight, if you will, and really learning about all of the, kind of the what is necessary and how to be that best expert, if you will, and being open to having people and really building a team around. So, I just want to encourage people who have been sitting on the sidelines working for companies and who really have ideas or dreams, to actually really not just sit on the sideline, but to take baby steps to enact little things that they can do on a daily basis to get, to allow their dream or whatever they want to actually come to be. So, it's been about 8 months, but we are just tremendous and having a great time and, doing what we need to get to where we want to be.
So you guys have an affiliate and a referral system. Is that correct?
We do, actually, and it's very strong. In fact, I just hired a new agency to really handle that, and they're clear across and over the pond, out across the pond. And so, it's one of the top, and what they do is it's all about just developing relationships with all the publishers, with the influencers, anything to do with any of the well-established. It's a tentacle to actually outreach to many more people than you would have access to, let's say, through just social media and whatnot.
Nice. So give us a little bit about your history and background. How did you grow up, and what got you the entrepreneur bug?
So this is something that is honestly in the DNA. It really is. This is through my family. My father is the entrepreneur in the family, and we grew up. I grew up in New York, and born and raised in Manhattan and then on Long Island. And my dad was a young man at the time, and he had put really good people around him who helped him to grow him up. At the time, retail was very, very popular. Way back, there was no online. So, he bought stores, just retail stores. He was really into stationery stores. This is even right on the heels before Costco, before even Staples, just on the heels of that, prior to that. So, and for me, it was something that it was always instilled, and just like we were kind of talking about before, it's like when you're a kid, it's like, you're learning, everything is through what you learn through your parent, through your family. And they were not giving me anything. I didn't have, there was no free pass. They had, what they had or what they didn't have. The fact is that they always had, whether it was the monetary at the moment, but they always had that confidence and the ability to know what success was. And they always lived it regardless of what was surrounding. And thank God, and they came into it and stepped into the shoes of that as young people and then growing. But my first job, if you will, was a newspaper route.
Oh, wow. That's how I started out. In fact, we had somebody last week who started out a newspaper route that was a big entrepreneur.
Is that right?
There's something connected there. How old were you when you started that? Because when I was young, you'd started at like 11. It wasn't like an official job.
It was around 11. I want to say it was like 9, 10, or 11. I mean, it was really young. Yeah. I just wanted to work.
Yeah, you're like, I want some money, man.
I want some money.
Shit to do.
I wanted to go buy candy. My parents wouldn't give me money to go buy candy, so
That's what I did with my money. Go to the candy store, and you thought you were rich.
Oh my God! In fact, I was. This is kind of embarrassing, but I was a brownie. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, brownies. So that was bright. That was like before you became a Girl Scout. So it was like the underling. It was like the Cub Scouts for Boy Scouts.
I never made it to Girl Scout. I got kicked out.
No, I got to hear this story. How did you get kicked out?
No, actually, the thing is, I got kicked out of the brownie.
Oh, you got kicked out of the brownies. So what was the heinous act that transpired here? Can we make that?
Yeah, and this is a candy story. So we were meant to we were going to this candy factory in New York. I think it was in Brooklyn for a field trip, right? And we were told we can only bring so much money. I don't want to say it was like 50 cents, but it was sort of like maybe like $5.
Yeah.
And so it was almost like I just, in one ear, out the other. And my mother says, how much am we supposed to give you? And I said like $20.
Good girl. See, your parents had taught you negotiation as an entrepreneur.
So we go to the store and, I come out with the $20, and that was not the parents, the kids, they were not having it. No way. Yeah. I got a lot of trouble for that.
You're making moves. People need to realize too, what we're talking about was the day and age when you buy a candy bar for 10, 15, 25 cents. I think like the Snickers were the high end of the curve, and they were like 25 cents.
Exactly.
So people don't realize $5 or $20, man. You could own the store for that much.
Oh, you totally could.
Yeah. You go down, and I remember doing all the negotiating in my head. Okay, I got a 10-cent Jolly Rancher bar, and 15-cent this, and then maybe you get the Fanta. Oh Jesus, wow! The Fanta, was it the red cream soda?
Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh, that shit was so gross. One time I for some reason it came back up. I don't know if it's having a diabetic episode or something. But, and once you have that smell and taste of red cream soda coming back up, you're gonna drink it again. And I'm just sitting here retching in my head, thinking how much sugar must have been in that damn shit.
Right.
I think it's probably illegal. I don't even know if you can get red cream Fanta anymore. Makes me want to go. I actually want to go drinking now, so I don't know.
Actually, right, or maybe just like develop it, put it back on the market.
Yeah, that stuff was evil. You could use it as I don't know. It was funny. It was funny. So you go through this journey, and then when did you start your first company then officially?
So, I was in entertainment. So my dream and desire growing up is I always wanted to be an actor, and then I also simultaneously, and this was probably right around, actually it was a little after my newspaper route. So I think my newspaper route was like at 7, because I remember actually picking up a guitar around like 9, 10 years old, and I started writing music.
Oh.
So I had this whole thing about, being being in the entertainment industry. Yeah. And I wanted to, and I grew up in New York. So of course, you're always encouraged to, or my parents really, really encouraged me, because they were in the arts, to just follow my dreams. But I also had, so I was, really into the acting thing. I was super into writing music, and I wanted to combine the two in some form or fashion. And then I also had this incredible, business head. I always felt like my father was super encouraging. I had great marks in school. It was really a good, actually, for as much as I, kind of screwed around, I actually had great, I did well in school. And when I focused, that's the key.
I did good in school too when I focused, but somehow I flunked half of it. So, but if you read my book, you'll understand why there was some intent there. So you talk about one of the greatest keys to life is persistence. Tell us why that's important as you've lived your life and being an entrepreneur.
Oh, I can't, you know what? And it's so funny, before we got on, I was really thinking about that, because that is the reason why I continue to go on every day, is persistence, honestly, because so much of the time, and when you run companies and you have had your own businesses very successfully, and then not so successfully, when, things are, it's a trajectory, they go up and down. And you have to really be able to just know that, you have to come up with sort of daily routines or phrases. One of them for me is, good things are coming my way. Everything's okay. Everything's working out. And it's like putting these little nuggets ahead of my daily routine has really helped me to, just really, kind of work through things that pop up that may not be comfortable. So persistence is about finding a way through and walking through the fire.
It's also like programming your mind to, we've had Olympian coaches on, and they talk about how they teach the Olympians to think through and visualize everything that's going to happen when they do their event, or when they're, doing whatever they're doing. And so they pre-program it. There's people that will do that in the NFL. They'll teach them. I think we've had some people on who taught one of the McMahons, or one of the McMahons. I'm not sure. I don't, just take me at my word. He was the New York Giants. Manning, one of the Mannings. Thank you very much. Thanks for helping me out there. Yeah, it was Eli Manning. He coached him. Was a great leadership coach from West Point. But they talked about, pre-programming and visualizing that game. And I think that's why what you mentioned is important in having this perception of humility, grace, and gratitude, that you know where you're going. Everything's going to be fine. It's easy to get lost in the minutia of I don't think this is working out, because everything is such small little steps and problem solving that you're doing to the big picture. And, it's easy to get lost. And if you just keep, being persistent, solving the problems, like I usually like to call it, eating the elephant one bite at a time, just keep on chewing, just keep on chewing. And one day that elephant's, you've taken it on and beat it. And so I think that's really important, having that sort of mindset.
Totally. And then it's another way to frame it too is it's hitting the reset button.
Oh, there you
go. Because like here we're in sort of like the vacation week. It's like Christmas week.
That's why I can't remember any football scores at this point. All the references are on vacation still, evidently.
Doing good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, it's sort of like you have, it's the beauty of perfection is really about loving the imperfection. Perfection is about loving what comes up, which is the imperfection. And that's perfection. That is the reset button, is when you're sort of just, you're over it. You're over everything. You're so frustrated. You're so overwhelmed. Like movies are coming out now. All the fabulous Oscar movies are coming out. And you just want to take a couple hours and just relax. And, like for me personally, I am such a driven individual. I am so focused. I want to get where I want to get, but, and while I recognize daily about the journey and enjoying it, and that's really what, for me, this is all about, getting to the journey is, if I'm frustrated, okay, back off, reset, have a moment. It's cool. Relax.
Yeah. Breathe in, take a breath, You don't perform, I've had ADHD all my life, and I've been suffering it. It's kind of come back with the testosterone therapy that I've started on. I'm 55. You gotta refill the oil. And so one of the things that has come back from it is my ADHD. It's a CEO's disease. And it's one of those things. And learning to breathe, learning to be present, learning to stop the madman. And I've gotten, after 55 years, I've finally gotten good at it, where you can focus. It took me a long time, and several therapists who went, "You're not really as efficient as you think you are multitasking. You're not. You just aren't." Right. And I would be like, "You're full of crap. I run 3 companies at the same time. Screw you." And they'd be like, "No, if you really sit down and figure out, you're not as efficient as you think you are." And they were right. It took me a while to adapt it, but right. So now when I feel it getting out of control, the ADHD, I'm in that life again where you're like, squirrel, yeah. And so that'd be funny if I started doing on this show, squirrel. But people are like, what the fuck is going on? Oh, but I've realized that it's inefficient, and so now I have to really monitor it and maintain it and set boundaries with myself, basically.
I've got something for you.
Oh yeah.
Stay sharp system.
Stay sharp system. There you go. Use the right vitamins and stuff.
Stage 2. Yeah. Yep, that'll help you. With your focus, your clarity. Just kind of getting everything in balance there, sir.
Yeah, but. Being in peace and stopping the moments, like I do gratitude Sundays every Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sunday is my day for gratitude and peace, working on my archives, kind of looking at my life and going, what are we doing? Kind of from not a crystal ball, but outside the box, basically. Right. And so that's my day to it's kind of a reset day. Like I'll go out to dinner, usually by myself. Fridays and Saturdays are for dating. Saturday is my day. No one interrupts my day. I don't spend time with other people on Sunday. I just do my thing. And so it's my gratitude day. It's my grace day. It's my humility day. It's my day just to kind of reset.
What do you do on your gratitude day?
On gratitude day, I do archives. So I'll go through my photos, of my kids, my dogs, my kids. So I'll go through the photos, archive them. I'll go through our podcast and clean up stuff, get ready for the week. I start looking at my week and planning out how it's going to be in my head, kind of like what we talked about, the Olympic thing. I start seeing who our guests are and not really work, but I just I go through stuff and start putting it together. And okay, so this is, where I need to be. There's this much activity going this week. So let's kind of plan that in our head. And then I usually finish with a dinner at the end of the day where I go out to eat someplace really nice. And it's the calm before the storm. I don't have anyone at dinner annoying me. I don't have to deal with anybody's riffraff if they decide they want to be that way. And so I go out, I treat myself well. And then throughout the week, when I'm, if I ever get a little flustered or bothered, or I'm like, geez, this is what a day this is. Then I just go, hey man, you got that Sunday. So you're going to be fine.
Nice.
And you rewarded yourself. So now you got to do the work, buddy. So we can get to the next thing. But yeah, I find that works well for me. It gives me a grounding. Sometimes in the morning, I'll do a little routine where I just don't let anything get at me for a while before I have my coffee, and I just kind of enjoy maybe reading the news, or I don't even read the news so much anymore. The wars have kind of gotten to me.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yeah, I can't. There's problems I just can't solve.
Yeah, exactly.
And local stuff I can voice my opinion on, but that keeps me grounded. And I think that humility, that thing helps kind of reset me to keep the persistence going. And that way I don't feel so used and abused throughout the week.
Right.
Like I had my pleasure time where I took care of me. And, looking over my life, I'll sit and look over the archives. Hugh Hefner used to do the same thing. And it's modeled after his thing. There was he had 1 day a week for everything in his life.
Is that right?
Yeah. So he had 1 day a week was archive day and his life day. And that was the day where no girls were involved in his life. He would go up to, which, hard to do when you have a whole house full. But he would have 1 day where he would go into his archives, his library, and that was his day. And so he had a huge library where he had all his archives. He'd go through his life. He'd go through his photos. He'd update things. He'd organize them. When you feel organized, you feel better with your life when you feel organized. And so he would do that. I think Fridays were movie nights. And then he had 1 day for all of his men friends to get together and do the masculine thing. And they'd play games or hang out or do some, but it was only guys only. And so having that structured life, I think, really helps. And so I try to do that with my life. I go, somebody wanted me to go out to clubbing and play yesterday. And after, I think it was during hours, they were clearly on their vacation week for Christmas. And I was just like, no, I'm in my work week. Yeah. That stuff takes place on the weekends. So, and they were like, wow, that's kind of interesting. And I'm like, yeah. We have this structure and this form, and this works well for me. And I'm not a structure and form person, which is probably why I need it more than.
Well, funnily enough, it's like I'm actually have a very deep spiritual kind of thread, and I've been practicing something called Siddha Yoga, Siddha, Siddha for many years, and it actually has. And I'm in LA, so of course we do things. We're all very, forward people, progressive. So and it's a lot of celebrity. It's Guru Mai, and so these are just things that you learn different practices. And interestingly enough, that you were saying that one of the teachings I remember a really long time ago that stayed with me is that there's freedom within structure. And that is something that actually I think about really almost on a daily basis, is that I need the routine. I like the little thing of having like my morning meditation, if you will, and doing my Wordle, having my
there you go.
Yeah. Do you do Wordle?
No, but I know it's popular with so many people.
It's the thing. I got to tell you, I'll tell you why it's the thing. Because it's like when you get right and you're sort of in a really good, quiet, calm space, and that's sort of my meditation. I kind of sit and I like we were talking about, visualize what the day is going to be like, or what you want to happen. And part of that is I pretty much say, kind of put out, let me find my matches today. Matches like people, matches like things to do, or my laundry list of items that have to, that I've set forth to get done, that I'm my check mark off my list. And really, actually, it is about the people, finding the right people to help me kind of forward my business, forward my life, whatever I have focused on. But yeah, that freedom, within structure just makes me feel it's okay to have structure. Because just like you were saying, it's sort of like, I never wanted structure. In fact, I never really felt like it worked that well for me. Yeah. But, you know, I have to create my own structure, kind of being, you know, the leader, you know, it's like, right?
Yeah. It's and maybe it's because we're entrepreneurs where we don't like structure so much. We like freedom because we need to have some vision of what we're doing and where we're going. I really love freedom, and I have a real problem with structure. And so I need that form. But what's nice is I plan for the structure, but then I'm free to run. So like on Sundays, I can do whatever I want. If I want to screw around and play video games, I can do that. Yeah. If I want to just kind of look over archives, but there's kind of a slow preparation that I take to the day. And it's not like a form where it's like, you got to do this at hour 5 and hour 6 and hour 7. It's kind of like, okay, well, I'll do what I want when I want, and I'll make that work. So I think it's real important, but that gratitude of appreciating what you have and being grateful, like, you know, I think it's just so important.
It's everything. It's more than so important. It's everything, honestly, because especially around the holidays, people, you know, I'm saying people, I'm going to speak for myself. You know, I have gotten, I'm a little happier now this particular holiday season. But you know, so much of the time, you know, you get down, like I get down, you know, and when I get down, what I do is I find my way back through gratitude. And the gratitude is making, let's say I can look around, making a list of things that, you know, in my head, I'm not saying writing it down, you know, just kind of going through saying, okay, 10 things that I'm really happy for, 10 things, you know, super happy for, you know, it's like the people in my life. I'm super happy for nature. I'm glad that my body is in great shape and that I look good. You know, like it's like, you know, going down the list to, you know, it's like, you know, to be able to know what, oh my God, you know, these things make me so happy. Now I feel better, and there's no sadness or depression or feeling lonely or anything of that nature. There's no excuse. There's really no excuse to be stuck in that place.
Most definitely. It's you know, it's when you stay stuck in that place, you're stuck in a victim mode. And so you can't empower yourself to get out of it and get out of the situation you're in. You're stuck in victim mode. So you're just wallowing in this pool of, you know, I just always think of a pig sitting in mud, wallowing in it, but you're just wallowing in it. And some people make it their identity. Some people make it their whole character, you know, the victimhood and please, someone save me. And you know, I guess in today's world, you can always find somebody to bail your ass out. But I wish I could as a man. That would be nice.
Yeah, we do have it easier, I have to say.
Yeah,
but it's not at all. I could never go there. As I was just telling you, my father is such a strong proponent of, you know, you have to be completely self-sufficient and confident. In fact, I want to hear what you were saying, but I remember my dad actually gave me some feedback a while ago. He goes, I knew as a little kid that he said about me, I was like 3 years old. He goes, you just didn't even need me. You know, you were so competent right off the bat. And I actually really think about that today. And that was such a kind thing for him to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, confidence is good. So what do you see the vision for your company over the next, say, 4 to 5 years? Or 10 years?
Yeah, well, this is now, you know, kind of morphing into many different brands and products. But the nature of what I am about is about helping people really be the best that they possibly can be, and that is an authentic, genuine, just a knowingness that I have the capacity, one person, to make a change just with one person, and then it kind of, you know, kind of goes out from there, balloons from there. But it's really about just helping, even if it's not even just the product, right? It's not about, you know, taking, come take these products. I mean, you know, they're fabulous fabulous products. But the key is, it's just, how does somebody feel about, wanting to be involved with the product? That brand is such a cool brand. What we have to offer, really just people feel good. They feel like they're on vacation. That's the point. So any of the items that are developed, any of the products that are for anti-aging or what have you, it's more about the key about how can I feel good as a human being on a daily basis, from a mental perspective and also a physical perspective. So yes, it does. They truly do make changes, but the lifelong change is just the correction of the mindset of being happier and really feeling like, to me, like being on vacation is sort of what life is all about. And there's so many people out there who don't even know what that really feels like, but we see it portrayed, in the movies and whatnot, TV. And so that's what my mission is about. And that's what I see these brands over the next 4, 5, 10 years, etc.
There you go. Well, it's going to be an interesting journey, and you're on your way. So give us your .coms as we go out to give people a final pitch on which products to use and pick up.
Okay. So again, please go to www.burenewed.com. We have 3 supplement systems. One is the Age Well system, and they're all stage 1 and stage 2, the morning and then the evening formula. We have the Well-Being system, which is for anxiety, calm, stress relief. It's also rest and relaxation, getting the best sleep you possibly can. And then we have the Stay Sharp system, stage 1 and stage 2, which is neurocomplex, anti-aging, cognition, memory, focus, clarity, production, being, again, the best you that you can possibly be.
There you go. Thank you very much for coming on the show and inspiring us. We really appreciate it, Heidi.
Thank you so much, Chris. It was a wonderful experience.
There you go. And thanks to our audience for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Subscribe to the big LinkedIn newsletter, and Chris Voss, Facebook.com, Chris Voss 1 on the tickety-talkety and all that good stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time.